Перебиваю, зараз я намагаюся де сигнал знайти. Чутно мене?
Так, все чутно?
Так, да, зафіксую. Okay. I welcome our dear students and teachers to this annual conference. We usually have to commemorate the anniversary of our university. And as everybody knows, this year we have 125th anniversary. Yes, hello. So this meeting, which we have among first-year students and others who want to join, especially focused on sharing information about our university. Okay, so we can spread the word about the university among our classmates, colleagues from other colleges, schools, universities all over our country and abroad. So today we all have a chance to enrich ourselves, to get to know special details about the history of our university, about well-known people we are proud of. And so I just hope that this meeting will be a good forum for all of us to exchange information, ideas, and to make it a better place to study for all of us. Okay, so we wish you fruitful exchange of ideas. Okay, and those who cannot attend, they can watch this recording, okay, of the conference, and I will be only glad to join you and listen to your presentations. Okay, so good luck to everybody and have a wonderful meeting today. Thank you all. See you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Larissa.
Okay, I'm here with you.
And so we are moving forward, and I want to invite Vitaly Fedorinu Aleksenko to give some words to encourage our students today, to inspire them, first of all. Vitaly Fedorinu, you're welcome. The microphone. Yep, thank you.
Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, colleagues. I'm delighted to congratulate the participants, guests, and organizers on the opening of the annual Scientific and Practical Conference Alma Mater. I believe that this is a great opportunity for the participants to exchange views and ideas and gain new knowledge. I wish the participants of the Scientific and Practical Conference fruitful work and new creative achievements. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And okay, now I would like to pass the microphone to Valeria West, our lecturer, who works with first-year students. So Valeria, you're welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to see you all here, to see many familiar faces, and I'm really looking forward to listen to your presentations, because as we know, every time is a great and one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to learn something new. And this conference, I hope that it encourages us to learn something new about our university, because not only is it important to study something at university, but it's also very nice to know some of its history. It's nice to know about people who were here before us, and maybe they will inspire us to do some things they were not able to do in their lifetime. So I'm very happy to see you. I'm looking forward to all the presentations, and just good luck to everybody, and have a great day and great time at this conference.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we have one more lecture today. It's Halina Gennadievna Severina. Are you here, Halina Gennadievna? Yep. Maybe disappeared. Okay. The internet. All right. So I also welcome you all today. It's a great pleasure to see you. Hope you will work with cameras and with your presentations. I've got the list of topics that you've prepared, and I must admit they are really inspiring. And I would like to inform you that we will pass the word like one by one, and the first speakers, they will be the speakers from our department, the Department of the Theory, Practice and Translation of the English language. So we have created a kind of Just a second. Yes. So the list is we're going forward. So students, right now you are ready, and we would like to invite our first speaker. It's Ігоря Сікорського, group LA21, who will present us the topic, the history of KPI. Julia, are you here? Silence. Ігоря Сікорського.
I'm gonna ask her right now. Oh,
Okay.
give me a sec.
Okay. Then, okay, we may proceed, and then Julia will present your topic. Щур Євгенія, Лоюк Олександра, group LA22. Girls?
Okay, yes, sir, I'm here. I need 1 minute for preparing, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you may share the screen. Yes, okay.
Okay, so you can see the screen, yep.
Yes, everything is okay.
Okay. Alexander, are you here? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so, oh, no, sorry. So we really, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, yeah, we are really glad to see you all here.
We really appreciate your attention, and we really like to show you our presentation about the KPI library.
Yes, and for not wasting time, I think that we are ready to begin. So let's start. Okay, so first of all, let's imagine the year of 1898. On January 31, the decree on the opening of the KPI is signed. On March, the project of the KPI buildings were reviewed. So there were no any physical, chemical, and other instruments or materials. There are no any equipment for teaching. There is not a single book. So on August 30, 1898, the main building was solemnly dedicated, and on August 31, a great event took place, the opening of the Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, which began work in the rented building of a commercial school. The library was created at the same time as the institute.
1898. The Fundamental Library was founded at the Kyiv Polytechnical Institute and named after Emperor Alexander II. At first, it was used as informational, communication, and scientific and cultural educational center. Its first director and also librarian is a one person who lately becomes the academician of Ukrainian Academy of Sciences, Mykola Fedorovich Bilyashivsky. He was a famous historian, ethnographer, and archaeologist. In the first year of work, the library served 360 readers. Mr. Bilyashivsky worked with an illiterate assistant, and in a few years of his work, he did a lot for the library. A magazine department was founded, an alphabetic catalog was compliant, the statute of the library was organized, an alphabetic catalog and a scheme of systematic catalog were compliant. Relation with the foreign book firms were started.
In the early years, the collection grew by an average of 1,000 titles. So books were purchased, and the library also received books as a gift from individuals and institutions. In 1802, Kirpichov, the first rector of the KPI, donated his books to the library, which is still kept in its collection. So also the widow of Professor Konovalov donated, if I'm not mistaken, 812 books on chemistry. During the Mykola Fedorovich work, the library was equipped with the necessary scientific and educational literature. And of course, in 1941, the KPI library was recognized as one of the best libraries among the libraries of higher educational institutes of the Republic.
It is impossible not to mention the most difficult period in the history of the library, the period of the Second World War. The library did not have time to evacuate, so it stays in Kiev and was partially destroyed and robbed. Many valuable books were exported to Germany and Austria. In general, during the period of occupation, the library lost 144,843 copies of different publications. Luka Grigorovich Papirovy made a lot of efforts to preserve the funds. He worked at the KPI since 1914. In 1927, he became a librarian, and from 1930, he occupied the position of the head of the library. In 1944, after the liberation of Kiev, library employees began work on restoring the funds. This took several years, and on the 1st January 1947, the library holdings amount to 250,000. Printed items and published had 702,534 copies.
Okay, also our library is known for its design. So who had hands in making it? Since 1918, building built in the center of the university campus on the Square of Knowledge. The specialist library building was built on the initiative of KPI rector Denisenko by the team of the Kiev Research Institute of Experimental Design in cooperation with KPI staff. The authors of project are architects Likhovodov, Zykov, Kiseyko, and engineer Hanelin. The total area is 13,869 square meters, of which the usable area is 10,533 square meters. The general shape of the building is close to a parallelepiped. The southern part is occupied by an 8-story book depository, and the northern part is occupied by library premises.
Kiev Polytechnic Institute become Volodymyr Ivanovich's favorite brainchild. Almost the last 3 decades of his life was connected with this educational institution. He faithfully served KPI, faithfully embodying in it the architectural traditions of Mr. Kittner and Mr. Koblev. Volodymyr Likhovodov greatly and systematically continued to develop and improve the architectural appearance of the KPI, synthesizing its historicism and modernity, which contribute to the recognition of KPI as one of the leading and most beautiful universities in the whole world. The history of the KPI is reflected in the historical annals of Mr. Likhovodov, Mrs. Lyubomudrova, and Mrs. Likhovodova. Here there are some main theses from their work. KPI from the first step to the first issue, KPI through the years, KPI the first century.
To say more about this person, he also wanted to do like a lot more, especially decorated the main building of the KPI with monumental plaques, restore historical coats of arms, bring the complex of the small sports area to the final stage, and most importantly, prepare models of the chapel of St. Marie Magdalene. And how valuable was the help and support of his colleagues. Also, to more about his personality, like after difficult surgical days, amazed doctor would gather around Volodymyr Ivanovich, and as if at an artistic council, they would choose the sketch they liked best, and he also overcoming the pain, told a lot of jokes and funny stories, and of course inspired other people. So what to say, the building of KPI library, it's a successful example of the synthetic of architecture, monumental and decorative art of the late 70s and early 80s.
In 2017, Kyiv Polytechnical librarians learned from colleagues from Warsaw Polytechnical University the experience of organization a consolidated library catalogs. Its feature is functioning as a single point of access to all information resources of the library. And the KPI library is constantly working on improving the consolidated electronic catalogs, which is the key to access of the global information resources.
Of course, one of the attractions of the KPI library is the focal pendulum, which was created on the initiative of the management of KPI. The works on manufacturing and installation of the pendulum were performed by the research and production laboratory Didactic. The ceremonial launch of the pendulum took place on February 21st in 2011, and the length of the pendulum suspension is 22 meters. The weight of the ball is around 43 kilograms, and the diameter of the ball is 28 centimeters. The placement of Foucault's pendulum in the KPI library is symbolic, because as it is the main place for storing and disseminating fundamental knowledge and scientific information. Also, regular demonstration of the pendulum's operation clearly demonstrates the rotation of the Earth around its axis, and how this device confirmed the heliocentric theory of Nicholas Copernicus. And Sasha, what we can say more about arts in KPI library?
Oh, this is my favorite theme. So there are monumental and decorative paintings on the walls of the halls of the library's 4 floors. Their author is honored and people artist of Ukraine, awarded the Taras Shevchenko National Prize of Ukraine, correspondent member of the National Academy of Arts of Ukraine, painter and designer Volodymyr Pasivenko. There are 4 panels under the common name Man and Nature. Their names are Man and Fire, Man and Earth, Man and Water, Man and Space. Symbolic and beautiful images that demonstrate the unity of nature and humanity. Exhibition, concerts, photo shots, and video clips are held against their background.
Thanks to its design, the KPI library is quite popular for filming various music videos or photo shoots. Also, it is loved by post-students and famous artists. For example, not so long ago, the KPI library became a platform for filming the Anuka video.
The director of the clip, Yevgen Filatov, and the leader of Anuka, Nata Zhinchenko, are supporters of Soviet constructivism and modernism in architecture. This is why the clip was shot in buildings that are reference example of these styles. This is not an ode to the Soviet era. It's about the beauty of architectural thought, the singer said. Also, one cannot fail to mention the popular Ukrainian singer Monatik and his music video for the song logarithm, in which you can recognize the legendary library.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for your attention. We really appreciate it.
I hope it was useful and you find out something new. If you have some question, we are ready to answer them.
Thank you, girls. Now we are all inspired by the art of our renowned library. We know more about it. Students, any questions to the speakers? No questions, so we may, yeah, okay. Anna Karpova, yep.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your presentation. It was really interesting to hear. And my question is maybe how it's important for the student of the first grade to come to the library, and maybe the best place in the library for you, and what can you recommend?
If we're honest, we were not in the KPI library still because we hadn't this like ability right now, but we are so inspired by its architecture, by its design, and we really hope that we will visit it soon. But I think that for every student, for every one of us, library is very important thing in our studying process, because we can find a lot of different important information in this library. So I think that if you want, you can visit it for searching some interesting books, but also as you could see in our presentation, there are a lot of different interesting art objects which you can look through. So I think that visiting the KPI library will be really I don't know, interesting for everyone, not only students. So yeah, I think that's all.
As for me, a library is something mysterious and inspiriting, so I really recommend everybody to visit this place, because here you can find something interesting, just see these beautiful paintings on the walls, and just have small inspiration to keep working. So that's all for me.
Thank you. Victoria Kalinichenko, you raised your hand.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. It was really good. I was wondering if there was any website for the library or something, because as we all hear, a lot of people don't really have a possibility to go to the library. So I was wondering if I could maybe ask someone to send me the book, or rent it out, online, or are there any options for me as a person who's not in Kyiv and who's not capable of going there?
Yeah, you have this possibility in the official website of the KPI library. You can sign in with your student's ID and rent a book. The librarians have scanned this book, all books that there are in the library, and you can use it on your purpose. So yeah, you can do it.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. And yes, as you have told us that the history of our library is connected generally to the history of the KPI itself. So Yulia Sibyl, you're here and you're going to present us the information about the history of our university.
Yeah, I'm
You're
here.
welcome.
Yeah, one sec. Can you see my screen? So I will tell you about the history of KPI.
And to start with, what was the idea of establishment? The idea of establishment of technical educational institution occurred to sugar mill workers of Southwest regions on 18th of January 1880, with the active support of the head of Kiev Exchange Committee, Khryakov. It was decided to open the subscription for donation raising, and the required amount, about 3 million, was collected mainly by private donations. For the construction of the institute, the city government proposed several plots in different areas of the city. The commission has chosen an area of 38 acres stretching along the Brest-Litovsk highway. It was a former mining field with 2 sandy hills in the middle, with many ditches and pits without a single tree or bush. On 31st of August 1898, Kiev Polytechnic Institute was opened, where the head of trade and manufacture department announced great behest apropos of this. 4 departments were denoted: mechanical, engineering, agricultural, chemical. First enrollments were announced in June 1898. According to the regulations, all comers who had certificates from grammar school, royal colleges, or other secondary schools that are equal to grammar schools were allowed to take the examinations. Entrants from other universities were enrolled out of competitions. 1,100 applications for 330 places were submitted. The examination in mathematics, physics, and Russian language was successfully passed by more entrants than it was predicted. And by intercession of University Board, Ministry of Finance allowed to enlist 30 more entrants. Studies began at 1st of September at the apartment, which was built for commercial college at Vorovskoho Street, which was rented by university for a year. After finishing the building, Institute had a full complex of buildings. Main building, which consists of engineering, mechanical, and agroeconomic departments, chancery, fundamental science, technical library. Chemical building, which consisted of chemical department, mechanical workshop with central power station for lighting of all buildings and heating of the main building, field research buildings, yard for livestock, garden, canteen, and so on. Leading figures of science, Mendeleev, Zhukovsky, Timirezev, and others gave science methodical support in organizing and establishment of the university. Pedagogical group of KPI was first to introduce the competition to order of appointment for professors of departments exceptionally from person who has a degree. It was the most appropriate method of staffing the departments by highly qualified specialists. Kipovich was appointed for the first head of KPI, being a specialist in the sphere of organization and establishment of higher education institution. First head of KPI State Examination Board in 1903 was Mendeleev. Only 993 graduates received their certificates. It was very hard to study, especially payment, revolution were expanding. First graduates of KPI were presented with Brest-Toksnov graduate along with certificates. Inalienable page of KPI history is its participation in anti-democratic movement of the country, which was performed under slogan of democratization of high schools, freedom of students' communities. Already in spring 1898, at first year of existence of university, its alumni took part in all Russian students' strict, directed against reaction policy of government. Government's answer was expulsion, detention, and exile of 32 students. Organizers and active participants of the strike. But it was not the last student riot, and students were participating in all tempestuous events of the beginning of the 20th century. Classes at the Institute stopped and continued in correlation to the progress of the war in Kiev.
Social transformation of the country were equally represented in the fundamental changes of the university governance principles. After the revolution and civil war, it was imperative to rebuild the economy of Ukraine, and a number of industries had to be created or restored, among them machine building engineering, machine tool engineering, automotive industry, chemical industry, defense sector, tractor engineering, metallurgy, and others. So it was necessary to renew the old and build new businesses and technically re-equip them. So to meet these requirements of the national plan, the engineering intellectuals had to be trained in a short period of time. This important task was entrusted on different universities of the country, including the Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, which was renamed to Industrial in 1934. In June in 1941, KPI concluded 43rd academic year. The institute had 3,000 students, more than 300 faculty members, and the total number of the institute staff was about 5,000 people. Like in other universities, graduates defended their diploma works and received a job. Students of the senior courses had manufacturing practices in various cities of the country. Students of the junior courses had brilliant exams. The war united everybody with a common goal, protecting the homeland. From the first day of the war, many lecturers and staff, graduates and students of the institute voluntarily and through mobilization joined the Red Army. They took part in the fighting on all fronts of the Second World War. Graduates of the institute who remained on the occupied territories participated in the underground and guerrilla struggle. The liberation of Kyiv in November 1943 made it possible to reopen the institute, began the registration of the faculty members, staff, and students that returned to the institute. In the second half of January 1944, the selection committee started its work of accepting first-year students and renewal of the senior course students. So during the long history of our university, it was led by 23 rectors, and during this period, its name was changed several times. From 1898 till 1918, it was called Kyiv Polytechnic Institute of Emperor Alexander II. From 1918 till 1934, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. From 1932 till 1948, Kyiv Industrial Institute. From 1948 till 1968, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute of Order of Lenin. From 1968 till 1992, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute of Order of Lenin of the 50th anniversary of the Great October Socialist Revolution. From 1992 till 1995, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. From 1995 till 2016, National Technical University of Ukraine, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. And from 2016 till nowadays, it is called National Technical University of Ukraine, Ігоря Сікорського, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. So today, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute is the largest institution of higher education in Ukraine. Given the large organizational role, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute in the preparation of engineering and scientific personnel, by the decree of President of Ukraine, it was given the status of National Technical University of Ukraine. In April 2007, the Committee of the Board of Education of Ukraine, it was decided to provide KPI the status of research university, and its regulations are approved by the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. So they gave KPI the status of autonomous national research university. And according to the order of Minister of Education and Science, Lilia Hrinevich, dated the 17th August 2016, number 992, to grant National Technical University of Ukraine, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute with a name. University was named in tribute to the former student, outstanding aircraft designer of 20th century, Ігор Сікорський. Thus, its full name from now is National Technical University of Ukraine, Ігор Сікорський, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much. Students, any questions? No? Okay, then we are passing the microphone to our second year student. Oh, you have a question. Great.
Yeah, good morning or good afternoon, sorry. Your presentation was really great and I really enjoyed it. So, as you told us about the history of KPI, I have a question about the future. So, my question is, how do you imagine the university of the future?
Well,
yeah, KPI in future.
yeah, it's hard to say, but I believe that it will be the best like it is now, and it will stay the best for forever.
Okay. So we are moving on and passing the microphone to our second year student, Anastasia Semenenko, group LA 11.
Hello. Thank you as well, just a second. Okay, so greetings everyone, my name is Anastasia and today I would like to present really gripping topic which can be generally defined as implementation of academic integrity in National Technical University of Ukraine. So let's start. So before we actually start, I would like to remind you one really famous quote, like integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. So needless to say, it's quite blatant, but what do we know exactly about implementation of academic integrity in our unit? Probably not really aware of this topic, so let's get started. So firstly, what is academic integrity? Honesty, fairness, and responsibility are just a few of the shared values and behavior standards that underpin the university and the larger academic community. Being honest in our university is also about work, being fair to others, taking responsibility for learning, and adhering to the conventions of scholarships. So they all are the examples of academic integrity. Here on the diagram, we can see all of these values, such as honesty, fairness, respect, trust, and so on. And of course about responsibility, not to mention, sure. So let's move. Actually, academic integrity of our uni is primarily involves a regular framework, like namely the Code of Honor, which is divided into such sections as first one, terms, next, norms of ethical behavior of applicants and employees of KPI, also policy of academic integrity of KPI, Commission on Ethics and Academic Integrity of the Academic Council of KPI, and finally, final provisions. So, as well, academic integrity in KPI involves a working group on academic integrity university, obviously, and the next one, Commission of the Scientific Council on Ethics and Academic Integrity. So let's talk about the main task of regulatory groups. Their main tasks are, first one, development of policies, regulatory and advisory materials. Second one, popularization of the principles of integrity and norms of the Code of Honor. Third one, prevention of plagiarism. I'm sure you're aware of it, so probably I won't discuss it anymore. And the last one, consideration of statements and appeals regarding cases of violations of the Code of Honor. Okay, and finally, have you ever wondered how KPI detects and prevents plagiarism? Well, let's figure it out. First one, detection. Of course, it's all about checking academic papers for text matches, thanks to our blessed unit check. Next one is expert examination. Next one, open science, like publication of academic works in open access and so on. And finally, checking students' works for plagiarism. And about preventions. All we know that our university has such promotion activities as conferences, seminars, lectures, trainings, individual consultations, discussions, leaflets, promotions, campaigns, videos, and so on. Probably can try yourself in creating one of them. Okay, so I do think and I do hope you have enjoyed the talk on the culture of academic integrity and beyond more. So much obliged for your attention.
Very much. We just reminded our students that plagiarism is a bad thing. So we have to keep in mind how to avoid all these unpleasant situations. Yep, Victoria Kalinchenko, you raised your hand?
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. It was awesome. I greatly enjoyed it. So I have a question. You talked about prevention of plagiarism and stuff like that. And you mentioned that there are certain promotion activities. I was wondering if you could maybe like give us an example of like a lecture or a seminar that was held like recently, maybe like who was invited, who was a lecturer, like an example of such a lecture or seminar or an activity in general.
Okay, so much obliged for your question. Actually, yeah, KPI has recently called it one of seminars and conferences as well, owing to the topic, owing to my topic of discussion, and actually about like further activity. I would like you recommend in the next, like your second grade course, to take one additional subject. It's called as academic integrity and ethical norms of it. So probably you may learn more about these topics during the lectures.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. We are moving on, and our next speaker is Reznik Andrei, group LA21.
Yes, yes, it's me. I'm here. 1 moment. So can you see my screen? Can you see it?
That's okay.
So the park of KPI and its beauty and history. Every morning, metro trains bring thousands and thousands of passengers to the Polytechnic Institute station. Finally, one of them is an institute or a university for a long time. Streams of people flow under the green walls of the old park and divide further along the avenues that lead to the university buildings. The path is familiar, so those who cross it every day are not at all surprised that the main center of technical science and education of Ukraine begins not with strict functional buildings, as it would seem appropriate for such a serious institution, but with a picturesque green massive. However, for applicants and their parents who got to Kyiv for the first time, such an entrance to the dream university is a surprise. It's all the more pleasant that this natural barrier protects the territory of KPI quite well from the noise and exhaust gazes of the main highways of Kyiv. For students of the agricultural department, the botanic garden and the park became a place for acquiring new skills, in addition to laboratories, experimental fields, chicken coops, etc. However, shortly after the start of the work of the institute, they were removed from the subordination of the Department of Botany, which, according to its first head, the famous scientist Professor Evgeny Votchel, should have been exempted from what was not related to its direct duties, only teaching and scientific work. However, at the same time, the students of the agricultural department conducted a number of practical classes in the botanic garden and park. The park was planned in 1901, and in the same year, the massive importing of seedlings began. Sure, the first trees were planted here a little earlier, in the fall of the 90s. Already in April, after 2 years, the board of the institute accepted from the building commission a plant surrounded by a temporary fence and equipped with roads, sidewalks, and electric lights. The estate of the institute with an area of 38 hectares with a park arranged on it. However, although the main work in the park were finished, he, in detail of additional equipment, putting the path in proper shape, installing benches, arranging flower beds, etc. Therefore, the work in it continued. It's worth noting that the park grew in parallel with new buildings and residential buildings. It's possible that these are eyewitness accounts of first battles for Kyiv in November 1943. As you know, the tanks of the 38th Army of the First Ukrainian Front were the first to enter the capital of Ukraine from Zhytomyr. They entered the battle from the merge of Brest-Litovsky Highway, as Перемоги Avenue was then called. As commander of the first tank that walked into Kyiv, Third Sergeant Nikifor Sholodenko was killed in the vicinity of the Bolshevik plant. Therefore, it's possible that the broken bricks on the walls of the first building of the KPI are traces of the German defense, because their location indicates that the fire was directed towards the highway. And nowadays, the territory of university, in any case, its historical part again, as before, is gradually turning into a continuous park. Next to his old plantings, piers of the university, new ones appears. Lawns and especially rare trees are constantly monitored. New green objects appear here, a pine grove behind the scientific and technical library, new plantings and flower beds on Knowledge Square in front of it. One, the central path lined with silent fir trees in front of the entrance to the main building of the university, an avenue of stars of the KPI is laid out. The names of its outstanding pupils and teachers are engraved on them. That's it. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Students, any questions to the speaker? No? Moving on? Okay. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Levanska Valeria, group LA22. Valeria, you're here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to share my screen. So can you see the presentation? Could you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, we see it.
So today I want to tell you about the cooperation with foreign universities and career support for graduates. KPI, named after Igor Sikorsky, with the strongest library, doesn't stand still but cooperates with the library of the University of Sheffield and the Colmark Consultancy Group. In tandem with many foreign higher education institutions, it implements plans to deepen integration into the European sphere of higher education and science, and joins the membership of the Association of Scientific and Technical Universities of European Theater, which will provide even more opportunities to share information, the best practices. There are 5 international centers working in the structure of the institution, the purpose of which is the development of cooperation with the relevant countries. The centers disseminate information about exchange programs, develop the cultural component of the represented country, and also work in cooperation with embassies. KPI, named after Igor Sikorsky, has been developing a network of international relations with foreign institutions for many years, most of which specialize in various sciences. Cooperation with foreign institutions of higher education enables students and scientific and teaching staff to study under mobility programs, study under double degree programs, improve qualifications, do an internship abroad, practice your skills in joint projects, programs, summer schools, win grants, etc. This is a good opportunity to gain knowledge, experience, develop communication skills, practice foreign languages, and better know and understand the values of other cultures. You can get more detailed look at the list of universities cooperating with our institution by visiting the website of the Department of International Cooperation. The Department of Academic Mobility offers several academic exchange programs for university teachers and students. These can be scholarship programs and exchange programs of countries such as Great Britain and Ireland, Canada, Slovakia, Germany, China, USA, Turkey, France, Japan, and other European countries. Double degree programs in Korea, Germany, Poland, France, the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union implemented from 2014 to 2027. KPI implemented 5 projects in the direction of development of the potential of higher education, 2 Jean Monnet projects, and more than 70 academic mobility projects. Since 2021, he has joined the European Universities Academy of Teachers Erasmus Plus Center of Excellence in Professional, Vocational, and Technical Education, and opened the EU initiatives. Participants of the educational process receive opportunities to teach, study, and conduct research on European integration issues, in particular regarding the future challenges and opportunities of the EU within the framework of the Jean Monnet direction. This is the promotion of excellence worldwide in teaching and research in the field of European Union studies. The National Mobility Program, under which academic exchange was carried out before the war within Ukraine, namely between Sikorsky KPI and Dnipro National University, named after Olесь Panchara, National Technical University Dniprovska Polytechnic, Lviv Polytechnic National University, National University Odessa Polytechnic, and Chernivtsi National University, named after Yuri Fedkovich. Our institution doesn't forget about employment of students. The Center for Career Development of KPI carries out career training, graduate support, conducts professional webinars, organizes excursions to enterprises and meetings with representatives of partner companies. To familiarize yourself with the company's activities, decide on a place of internship, practice, or future work, leave your CV or go through an interview with an HR specialist, get useful information and advice from the company's leading specialists, take part in presentations, workshops, business games, and determine important soft skills to build your career and later find your dream job at KPI. The Career Development Center's Professional Orientation Department create a job fair. There are about 40 leading companies take part on average of the website of the Department of Professional Orientation. Students can familiarize themselves with the latest events, courses, lectures, and other events. See online offers and advice on current topics of professional development, self-realization, and find a lot of other useful information for yourself. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. And we see that Irina Levanets, you have a question.
Yes, first of all, thank you for your efforts in finding this information, for your presentation. I would like to ask you whether you would like to study abroad under one of these KPI programs. If so, which foreign university would you like to go to?
Yes, thank you for a question. And if you asked me the question a few days ago, I couldn't answer you. But now I understand that I would really like to I go by the Erasmus Plus program because it can help me to improve my language skills, and I could also learn something new about the culture of another country.
Thank you for your answer.
Very much. Thank you. So our next speaker, just a second. Okay, our next speakers are Сезоненко Катерина, Руденко Владислава. Girls.
Okay, good afternoon. Yeah, please give us a minute to share the presentation. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Thank you. So we'll start. Good afternoon one more time. Today, together with my colleague Vladislava, we are going to present you a well-known for everyone topic, and in our opinion, it's relevant in this time and will be relevant in future. And if some of the questions occur during our presentation, you are welcome to ask them when our report will be finished. So we would like to start with the purpose, with the task, and with the relevance of our report. The purpose of our report is to convey a message of the importance of public relations to the target listeners.
Yes, and the task of our report is to spread out the captivating facts about KPI and tell about external interchange. Also, we consider that this theme is relevant because nowadays Ukraine is building strong relations between different countries, so awareness of this topic will come in hand in the nearest future.
I want for all of you to think what you already know about KPI. And of course, I'm going to tell you and answer this question. So let's start. Ігоря Сікорський, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute, which is also called KPI in short form, is considered to be one of the oldest and the largest technical universities in the world. And by the way, it has the 4th level of accreditation. This university trains highly qualified personnel, which include specialists, masters of engineering, masters of science, master of linguistics, and many more candidates and doctors of science. The history of KPI dates back to 1880, and due to the tremendous results achieved by the university and its students, the president of Ukraine gave the university the status of a national university, and it was in 1995. The students of the university study in a variety of specialties. At the same time, the university has a wide range of material, technical, and as well as educational facilities, which make it possible to provide international education. So, what does the largest university in Ukraine really hide behind its walls? Is it an ordinary university or a real Oxford? Now we're gonna figure it out. We can talk a lot about the history, about Sikorsky influence on the university, Mendeleev's work in the university's chemical building, and many prominent people who have graduated from its departments. But I think it's worth to start with the most important issue, the integration of modern youth and young scientists into the European world, and of course, the world of high technology. You may ask what exactly drew my attention so much that I made up my mind to dwell upon this issue so willingly. So I've got an answer. It seems that no other university in Ukraine, in our country, has wide opportunities for students who want to develop their skills and implement new ideas into reality, into life. So for this purpose, our native KPI has something that will not leave indifferent even the most avid nerds, not to mention initiative students. Now I'm talking nothing else but cooperation with global and regional international organizations like the UN, UNDP, UNESCO, UNIDO, and many European organizations. First of all, I would like to tell you about the Erasmus Plus program, which was already mentioned in the previous report. And I would like to emphasize on the agreements on partnership, cooperation, and scientific exchanges with many leading higher educational institutions, as well as research institutions around the world. So what is Erasmus Plus itself? Erasmus Plus is a program that combines the European Lifelong Learning Program, the European Youth in Action Program, as well as 5 previous higher educational programs. They are the Erasmus Mundus, Tempus, Alpha, and EduLink, and the Developed Countries Cooperation Program. And these 5 programs were divided and an overall program occurred, and they called it Erasmus Plus. The program also integrates funding in the field of sport, which I think is also very important for the field of sport to develop in our country. Since Erasmus Plus is built on the basis of the 5 previous programs, it has applied, in my opinion, the best tools and proven concepts of its predecessors. In my subjective opinion, this program has a number of advantages. So I would like to present them to the public and to the listeners, if perhaps someone is not yet familiar with the opportunities of Ігоря Сікорського Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. So let's start with the first advantage, and it's considered to be educational. You may understand it as an opportunity to compare the quality of education, teaching methods, and educational techniques, as well as the work of higher education institutions abroad. The second one is linguistic, and it can be interpreted as a chance to become fluent in a foreign language, to speak, to practice in a particular field of knowledge. The cultural aspect may be understood as the acquaintance with the culture of the country, the lifestyle, the people, the inhabitants, and of course, student life in particular. And the last but not least, life experience. It gives the prospect of becoming independent, and it enables to develop the ability to withstand unforeseen situations. Is there anything else? Of course, yes. In addition to integration into the European society, our native KPI also paid attention to those students who want to broaden their horizons, to gain knowledge, not only in the subjects specified in the educational program in the curriculum. So you may wonder what else can be done to help students to develop. I don't want to speak in complicated words, but I'm just trying to convey to students our native KPI as a Ukrainian-Japanese Center, UGC, which started its activities in 2003 with the aim of deepening mutual understanding between Ukraine and Japan, enriching our cultures and developing cooperation between the countries. So for the better understanding of the situation, I would like to quote the famous English theorist and humanist Tony Stark and present you a well-known quotation, which he has used in one of his mathematical treatises. The world is a collective dream, and we are its dreamers. So we can change it if we all cooperate.
Well, as a continuation, I want to say that knowledge is a refuge. And National Technical University of Ukraine, Ігор Сікорський Kyiv Polytechnic Institute has become such an asylum which introduces Ukrainians to the history and culture of Japan. We should be proud that on the territory of our university, Ukraine and Japan are developing cooperation in the field of science and technology. Along with our students and teachers in their turn are an integral part of this process. The next one, please. Okay, indeed, an important image step of our educational institution in the spreading out of Ukrainian Japanese intercultural cooperation was the establishment of the Japanese Language Center, Japan Foundation, in 2011. It was created with the assistance of the Japan Foundation, the largest charitable organization for the promotion and popularization of Japanese culture in the world. The next one. Well, the dream of getting closer to the land where the sun rises is becoming a reality. Whereas in recent years, there has been a much greater exchange of students who come from these two great states. Our education seekers have the opportunity to study and do internships in Japan, as well as take advantage of the possibility to receive recognition of their abilities by Japanese friends. For instance, there is a chance to study in all specialties under the mobility program at Shizuoka University for students who speak Japanese today. Participants of traditional Japanese arts courses immerse themselves in the mysterious world of Eastern culture and can be filled with positive energy. Namely, the partakers will be able to engage in 10 groups of Japanese arts, admire Japanese design and interactive activities, study the Japanese language and calligraphy, and also catch up the Japanese idea of wabi-sabi, which means the pursuit of beauty hidden in simplicity. Despite this, our alma mater also takes care of aesthetic education, because students may be delighted with sakura blossoms within the reach of university campus. Next one, please. And I want to add that nowadays KPI is an exceptional platform for building a bridge between different countries. And as the future of our university, we value such close relationships and strive for their bilateral development. I hope that our students will be a source of knowledge of Ukrainian culture for the Japanese, and in the upcoming, on the initiative of our educational institution, a Ukrainian center will be created in Japan where Ukrainian traditions, language, and art will be studied. In particular, such an occasion will help achieve a breakthrough in cooperation in various spheres, and the linguistic faculty, in turn, will participate in the promotion of the Ukrainian language abroad. Currently, our students can interchange experience, rely on the support of the university, since it is known that experience is an expensive school. So that's all for now, but we thank you very much for your attention and listening. We hope you enjoyed our report on international KPI, and of course, as Kate said, if you have any questions, you can ask them without any hesitation. Thank you.
Questions? Not see raised hands. Okay, probably no questions. Okay. All right, I highly recommend you to take part in this famous Erasmus Plus program. Just study and then take part. You will see that this is a great opportunity not only to study, but to learn new culture and get new experience. Thank you, girls. And we are welcoming right now our next speaker. It's Hretsai Anna.
Yes, Hretsai only.
Sorry.
No, All is good. One moment. Oh, I hope you can see it. Зараз, one moment. Beyond studies, leisure and media at the National Technical University of Ukraine, Ігоря Сікорський, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. Kyiv Polytechnic Institute is one of the largest technical universities of Ukraine, founded in 1898. Now more than 30,000 students study here and more than 3,000 teachers and scientists work here. It is a place not only to study, but also a place where students can do sports, relax, and meet new people. Sports and sports competitions. We have developed an active sports life. Students can participate in competitions in basketball, rugby, rock climbing, as well as gymnastics and many other sports. Every year, the university holds a sports week during which various competitions and sports events take place. There is also a sports complex that offers free swimming, sports and fitness classes to students and employees of the institute. Cultural events. In addition to sports life, KPI also offers students opportunities to develop cultural abilities. The university organizes concerts, theater performances, and art festivals. These activities help students relax and have fun after studying. There is also a student art club at KPI, where students can practice drawing and graphics. No. Another place for leisure can be considered the KPI library. The KPI library is an integral part of the university and is part of the scientific information system of Ukraine. This library is one of the largest technical libraries in Ukraine now. The library fund includes more than 2 million documents, including scientific and technical literature, periodicals, scientific works, rare publications, dissertations, multimedia resources, and more. The KPI library works with students, teachers, and scientists, providing them with access to worldwide databases, electronic journals, electronic books, and other sources of scientific information. It offers various services, such as copying, scanning, literature search, consultations on the use of scientific information, and others. Now I want to demonstrate some facts about the library from the director.
А чи знали ви, що якщо всі книжки, які є в нашій бібліотеці, викласти одна за одною, то це буде відстань, як від Києва до Львова. А на площі нашої бібліотеки може поміститися 7 Монако.
In addition, the KPI library is an active participant in the scientific life of Ukraine and conducts various events, such as exhibitions of rare books, scientific conferences, seminars, and other events aimed at improving the culture of reading and information literacy. Media activity. Kyiv Polytechnic Institute also developed media activities among students. The university has its own newspaper, Kyiivsky Polytechnic, which publishes articles about studies and student life. In addition, he opened his own television studio where students are interviewed. Students can join a journalism group and write articles for a newspaper or participate in the creation of television programs. It provides an opportunity for students, their thoughts and ideas, and show their talents. Our university also has several cafes and canteens where you can taste delicious food at an affordable price. Moreover, our university is located in the center of the city, so students can find many interesting places for recreation outside the territory of KPI. Therefore, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute has many opportunities for entertainment and recreation, which allows students to enjoy their student life and be successful not only in their studies, but also in their personal lives. Thanks for your attention. I was so pleased to introduce my presentation.
And do we have any questions to the speaker? No? Then our next speaker is Олішевська Вікторія. Вікторія?
Так, я тут. Зараз хвилинку. So, can you see the presentation? The topic of my presentation is murals and graffiti of KPI of our university. As we all know, the KPI campus is decorated with a large number of different art objects that not only attract the attention of other people, but also became real photo zones and visiting cards of our university. As a part of various projects, 3 incredible murals and various graffiti can be found on the walls of KPI buildings. Today, however, a few people know the history, authors, or the meaning of these works of art. So in this presentation, I want to tell you some information about these works. So the first mural is the impact of discovery. It is widely known. Each of us has seen it at least once in our lives. The mural, The Impact of Discovery, was created in 2016 as a part of the art festival Mural Social Club. It was painted on the building of the Center for Culture and Arts of the KPI. The author of the work is Canadian artist Lee Hill. The mural tells the story of 2 remarkable discoveries. The first is related to the discovery of Higgs boson. The people in the picture running towards each other symbolize the collision of 2 protons moving at the speed of light. This is how the experiment is carried out. When 2 protons are collided in almost the speed of light in the Large Hadron Collider. And the next meaning, we can see the image of people, or rather just one man. It's an adaptation of an old photograph from the late 19th century, taken by the prominent French inventor Etienne Jules Marais. However, this is not just a photograph, but a chronography. In Ukrainian, it's chronografia. It's when we take pictures of an object's movement in short intervals. This invention, chronography, had a direct impact on the development of filmmaking. The next mural, Growing Up, in Ukrainian Doroslishення. It is painted on the wall of the 7th building of KPI. It was created in 2017 as a part of art festival called Mural Social Club. The author of the work is artist Marat Morik. In 2017, as a part of festival, it was decided to launch a social art project Back to School. This Ukraine social art project created a series of drawings on educational institutions. The mural is dedicated to the development of technology and how today's future becomes tomorrow's past. For example, it depicts a diskette, which is not really relevant today, but was a breakthrough in the world of technologies not long ago. There are also various inventions of mankind in the picture. We can see the wheel, different satellites, different drawings, etc. But the technology development and progress are impossible without human involvement. And therefore, the main character of the mural is a human, a man. Maybe you know famous Ukrainian scientist Serhiy Korolyov, sorry. He led the launch of the first artificial satellite and the first human space flight. The portraits depict Korolyov as a young and mature man. This shows that man and technology do not form and develop overnight, only gradually. So mural on the wall of the 18th building of KPI, it was created in 2021, the newest one. It was created as a part of festival French Spring in Ukraine by French artist Nelio. The mural is an abstract and minimalist vision of the relationship between nature, science, and technology. As far as I know, preparation for the project took about 6 months, half a year, and the paints were applied in a week. Initially, it was planned to use bright colors, but the building was gray, so the artist decided on more calm pastel colors. Graffiti Skovoroda P. The creation of this graffiti in the form of 4 pictures of Grigory Skovoroda on the KPI campus is connected with Skovoroda P, the first national dubstep festival. The symbol of the festival was philosopher Grigory Skovoroda, whose quadruple image appeared on the wall of the KPI. The authors of the graffiti were Anatoly Topolsky and Sasha Lemkit. And the last graffiti I want to talk about is graffiti mural in KPI, created in 2012. The graffiti mural on one of the buildings of KPI was created by Polish participants of the international social project This Way, which was held as a part of Euro 2012. This project aimed to help children in difficult life conditions to develop their creative potential. The drawing was created by children together with artist Rafal Rozolovsky and Artur Turovsky. So thank you for your attention. That's all I wanted to tell you today. Hope the information was interesting.
More attention to all these drawings that we see in our campus. Okay, any questions to the speaker? No. Okay, so we're moving on. Our next speakers are Karpova Anna and Papel Buksenia. You're welcome, girls.
Yeah. Okay. One moment. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, good afternoon, dear colleagues. We are glad to have an opportunity to present our project, so let us begin. Probably everyone considers Ukrainians to be the strongest nation of the 21st century due to all circumstances in their lives. Of course, it should be mentioned that volunteer activity has played an important role on our way to the victory. And consequently, it is a question if KPI has been making a great contribution to help the victims and soldiers, or if it is only an educational establishment. There were no doubts that KPI would give its country a helping hand as many times as possible, so we have a desire to narrate you about it and, by the way, to remind how all of us can support Ukraine. The Kyiv Polytechnic Charitable Fund for the support of the Armed Forces of Ukraine was opened and registered as a charitable organization in the form of a charitable fund on the initiative of the Academic Council of the University. The purpose of the fund is to organize charitable activities in order to help militaries and members of their families. The main tasks of the charity fund are to help soldier families, especially those relatives died defending Ukraine, also to buy all necessary things for people who were injured while the war ended, of course, to provide food and dwellings for refugees and persons in difficult life circumstances.
A KPI student is among the organizers of the Peace Rally in Oxford. Alexandra Kudinova is simultaneously studying at Oxford University on the Energy System program. The Ukrainian Society of Oxford University organized a peace rally to mark the anniversary of the heroic resilience of Ukraine. National songs were played, people came with flags, there was a fundraiser to support the armed forces. Alexandra told that she was pleasantly surprised by how many people had joined the rally, despite the rainy weather. It was also important for her to hear the words of support from the British. KPI transferred 1 million hryvnias to the needs of the armed forces of Ukraine. The funds were transferred to the special accounts of the National Bank of Ukraine. This amount of money was owned by the trade union organization and were accumulated from union dues of university employees. Professional committee of KPI redistributed traditional expenses and gave these funds to the defenders of our sovereignty. 1 million was donated on 30th April 2022. So we should be proud of KPI students who believe in Ukraine and came to its defense. Many young men from the first days of the war organized themselves into the territorial defense of the KPI. They built barricades on the territory of the university and took turns at checkpoints both in their district and in the other dangerous corners of Kyiv. After the end of the hot phase of events in Kyiv, those students continued their voluntary activity. What is more, many graduates of KPI joined the armed forces and have been defending Ukraine in the war zone. Unfortunately, from time to time, we hear sad news about human losses. So we are sincerely grateful to everyone who gave their lives for our future in independent Ukraine.
In addition, it is worth emphasizing the importance of KPI as a university with a huge number of graduates who work in the field of nuclear and thermal energy. Russian troops attacked critical infrastructure facilities, so the slight power outage in Ukraine, but light, warmth, network were and people were on the cloud 9. As I was born in the satellite town of Khmelnytsky nuclear power plant, this aspect is important for me to emphasize. Everyone knew that only Khmelnytsky nuclear power plant didn't disconnect from the network during the days of the most massive attacks and thus saved Ukrainians' energy infrastructure from collapse. Thousands of workers, a part of which are graduates from KPI, have been spending so much time helping to maintain all processes since 21st of February. What is more, my father, Andrei Karpov, is a lead engineer at the Thermal Automation and Measurement Department, and by the way, he also graduated from our university. He said that their work has become even more important in the terms of current events.
Also, 3 football tournaments were held in KPI in support of the armed forces during May and June. Many people who are not defending Ukraine with weapons in their hands are trying to help our soldiers with everything they can. KPI students and graduates were also active. In order to help militaries, the Mass Sports Commission of the KPI Trade Union Committee organized and helped 3 charity football tournaments in support of the armed forces of Ukraine. All the funds collected during the tournaments were sent to the needs of our army. The rector of our university, Mikhailo Zakharovich, was present at all charity tournaments and supported teams too.
To cut a long story short, KPI is not only an educational establishment, but is also a great contribution to our future victory. Various events are being organized abroad, funds are being created to support the armed forces. In addition, football matches and lectures related to events in Ukraine are being held. Students abroad also help as much as it's possible in order to inform the world about our situation.
Students who stayed in Ukraine organized themselves into territorial defense. Also, many students and graduates became militaries and even gave their life for Ukraine. And, of course, many specialists who helped to maintain our country during numerous attacks, especially workers of nuclear and thermal power plants.
So, do not waste time and help Ukraine together with KPI. Remember that everything is in our hands and we should stay as brave as Ukraine. So, it is all for now. We thank you for your attention and we are ready to answer all of your questions. Of course, if you have them.
Thank you very much, girls. Such an interesting topic. We all remember that we have to help our armed forces. Thank you. Pani Irina Levinec, you have questions?
It was also very interesting for me to listen for this information. Therefore, I want to ask, why exactly did you decide to choose this topic and not some other?
Okay, we thank you for your question and of course for your attention. I think that we can tell a lot of information about KPI, about its history, about its different places, but it's important to maybe stay in touch with all information and all things happening around us. And we just want to inform all the present people here with maybe the help of KPI and opportunities maybe that gave us a chance to help our country, because it's maybe the best dream, the best thing for us, our victory, and we should work hard and try to do as much as possible to help our dear Ukraine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Thank you.
No? So we are moving on, and now we'll enjoy the French language. Actually, we are inviting our students that represent the Department of Theory, Practice and Translation of French. And the first presentation will be delivered by Koropko Polina. Polina, are you here? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're welcome.
I will introduce myself in French, okay? Bonjour, je m'appelle Paulina Koropko. Je suis étudiante du département de la théorie, de la pratique et de la traduction du français, groupe élève 21. Et le sujet de ma présentation est la bibliothèque scientifique et technique de Nissenko de KPI Ігоря Сікорський. C'est la plus grande bibliothèque universitaire technique d'Ukraine. C'est le centre informatif et communicatif, scientifique, culturel et éducatif de l'université. Création de la bibliothèque. En 1898, la bibliothèque fondamentale a été fondée à l'Institut polytechnique de Kiev du nom de l'empereur Alexandre II. Mykola Fedotovich Bileschivsky est devenu le premier directeur de la bibliothèque. Il est historien, ethnographe et archéologue bien connu. Pendant le travail de Bileschivsky, la bibliothèque était équipée de la littérature scientifique, éducative et pédagogique nécessaire. Lors de la création du fonds, 556 livres et 17 titres de magazines ont été achetés. À la fin des années 20, la bibliothèque de KPI est devenue une puissante bibliothèque technique. Son fonds comprend des ouvrages classiques sur les mathématiques, la physique, la chimie, l'ingénierie et la philosophie. Dans les années 30, une expansion importante de la bibliothèque a eu lieu et prochainement, en 1941, la bibliothèque de KPI a été reconnue comme l'une des meilleures parmi les bibliothèques des établissements d'enseignement supérieur de la République. La période de la Seconde Guerre mondiale est la plus difficile de l'histoire de la bibliothèque. Pas eu le temps d'évacuer la bibliothèque. Elle est restée à Kiev et a été partiellement détruite des pays. De nombreux livres précieux ont été menés en Allemagne et en Autriche. En général, pendant la période d'occupation, la bibliothèque a perdu 145 000 exemplaires de publications. Dans le 15 de novembre 1943, les travaux de la bibliothèque reprennent. La poursuite du développement rapide de KPI, l'ouverture de nouvelles facultés et branches de l'Institut ont contribué au développement de la bibliothèque. En 1965, la bibliothèque a reçu le statut de bibliothèque scientifique et technique. La superficie totale de la bibliothèque est de 14 600 mètres carrés. Les locaux contiennent 15 salles de lecture pour 1500 places et 8 dépôts de livres. Objet d'art. Le pendule de Foucault est installé dans la bibliothèque. Son ouverture officielle a eu lieu le 24 février 2011. L'appareil démontre simplement et facilement le fait que la Terre tourne autour de son axe. Ainsi, il confirme la théorie héliocentrique de Nicolas Copernic, les recherches et les conclusions de Galilée Galilei. Il y a des peintures monumentales et décoratives sur les murs des salles des 4 étages de la bibliothèque. Leur auteur est artiste honoré du peuple d'Ukraine, peintre Volodymyr Pasivenko. Ces 8 panneaux ont pour nom commun, l'homme et la nature. La collection imprimée de la bibliothèque compte environ 3 millions de volumes de tous les domaines de la connaissance et de divers types de matériaux. Le fonds des livres rares et précieux compte environ 2 000 exemplaires. Plus de 24 000 lecteurs sont inscrits dans la bibliothèque. Annuellement, la bibliothèque enregistre environ 128 000 visites. Aujourd'hui, la bibliothèque continue son travail malgré la loi martiale et l'enseignement à distance. Les étudiants et les autres lecteurs peuvent obtenir la documentation nécessaire à partir de fonds en ligne. Pendant la période de panne d'électricité, la bibliothèque sert de point d'inébranlabilité. Aussi, la bibliothèque continue d'organiser des webinaires, des conférences, des soirées-jeux et une grande variété d'événements. Vous pouvez assister à ces événements à la bibliothèque ou les visiter en ligne. Merci pour votre attention.
Вас не чутно.
And now, yes, maybe yes. Paulina, you raised your hand.
Est-ce que vous avez visité cette bibliothèque?
Oui, j'ai visité cette bibliothèque.
Oui, merci pour votre présentation, c'était magnifique. Et mon question est, pouvez-vous nous dire quelles sont les éditions rares de la bibliothèque?
Merci pour votre question. Des publications rares de divers domaines sont disponibles dans les bibliothèques. Par exemple, l'histoire de la peinture d'Alexandre Benoît ou par exemple les ouvrages sur la chimie appliquée. Ce sont éléments de chimie, chimie appliquée aux arts de Jean-Antoine Chaptal.
Merci.
André, Vernos?
J'ai une question très intéressante. Pourquoi la bibliothèque porte le nom de Denisenko?
Merci pour votre question. Le bâtiment spécialisé de la bibliothèque a été construit à l'initiative du recteur de KPI Denisenko en 1990. Et lors de la célébration du 100e anniversaire de KPI, le conseil académique de l'université a nommé la bibliothèque en l'honneur de Grigori Ivanovich Denisenko.
Merci.
Merci.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kalinichenko Victoria, you're our next speaker, and we are happy to welcome you.
Thank you. 1 second. Okay. Oui. Bonjour, je m'appelle Kalinichenko Victoria. Je suis étudiante du groupe LF21 d'Université nationale technique de l'Ukraine, Institut polytechnique de Kiev, Ігоря Сікорського. Je voudrais vous présenter mon sujet, Conseil des étudiants du KPI Ігоря Сікорського. Et je vais parler de l'histoire, des principaux buts, des objectifs et des initiatives récentes du Conseil des étudiants du KPI Ігоря Сікорського. Histoire. En 1998, dans le cadre du processus de démocratisation de l'enseignement supérieur, la loi ukrainienne sur l'enseignement supérieur a été complétée par l'article numéro 38, qui traitait de l'introduction de l'autonomie étudiante. En même temps, le Conseil des étudiants de KPI a été créé par des étudiants actifs et conscients de l'université. La tâche principale du Conseil des étudiants de KPI Ігоря Сікорського était et reste toujours la création de conditions pour la participation active de tous les étudiants à la vie quotidienne de l'université, son amélioration et sa diversification. Plus tard, en janvier 2010, des modifications ont été apportées à la loi ukrainienne sur l'enseignement supérieur, qui a donné aux organes autonomes étudiants plus de pouvoir et de responsabilité. Les principaux buts et objectifs du Conseil des étudiants de KPI Ігоря Сікорського. Ce sont la contribution aux étudiants dans l'accomplissement de leurs devoirs de citoyens et d'étudiants, la promotion des activités éducatives, scientifiques et créatives des étudiants, l'organisation de loisirs et de récréation pour les étudiants, la participation à la protection de l'ordre public, la promotion et création des conditions sociales et de vie nécessaires pour les étudiants universitaires, fournir des recommandations lors de l'installation des étudiants dans les dortoirs universitaires, l'éducation au patriotisme, la nécessité de se conformer à la législation en vigueur, aux normes morales et éthiques, la mise en œuvre de travaux interuniversitaires et internationaux, la promotion d'un mode de vie sain, la protection des droits légaux et des intérêts des étudiants auprès des autorités et de la direction de l'État, la promotion de l'emploi des étudiants, la prévention empêcher d'éventuelles infractions de leur consommation d'alcool, de drogue, etc., l'organisation de la vie culturelle, éducative, physique et travail de masse. À ce jour, 10 départements fonctionnent activement au sein du Conseil des étudiants. Culturel et de masse, international, relations extérieures, sportives, le département de la protection des droits des étudiants, le secrétariat, PR, information, scientifique et éco-KPI. Et certaines initiatives récentes du Conseil comprennent rencontre avec le chef de la Fondation Poverný Živým, l'analyste militaire Taras Chmut, organisation de soirées cinéma caritatif dans le but de diffuser le cinéma ukrainien auprès des étudiants. 40% des bénéfices du marché aux puces organisés sont allés aux forces armées et des clubs de la langue anglaise Allemagne, un club de débat et autres diverses formations. C'est tout ce que je voulais vous dire. Merci de votre attention et je suis prête pour vos questions.
Merci pour votre présentation. Je voudrais vous poser des questions. Êtes-vous dans le conseil des élèves?
Le conseil des étudiants, c'est une organisation, mais par exemple, dans l'université, dans notre place qui nous avons nos événements, par exemple, malheureusement, je n'étais pas dans l'université en général.
Merci pour votre réponse.
Oui, j'aime ta présentation et ma question est quand le département de quelle est la fonction du département international du KPI Student Council?
Merci pour votre question. Dans notre cas, c'est coopération avec des partenaires du conseil des étudiants de KPI Ігор Сікорський, mais c'est aussi la création des désignes pour notre conseil.
Merci.
Merci.
Participez-vous aux événements organisés par le conseil étudiant?
Oh oui, j'organise le club débat de but, mais aussi j'assiste aux événements organisés, par exemple rencontre avec le chef de la Fondation Poverný Živým et autres événements.
Okay. Merci, c'est très bien.
Merci.
Okay, and right now we are inviting Andriy Kernos and Polina Tsitsura, our next speakers. You're welcome.
Bonjour à tous. Je vais activer la présentation. Dites-moi, s'il vous plaît, vous voyez ma présentation?
Oui.
D'accord. Un moment. J'ai des problèmes techniques. D'accord. Je m'appelle Andriy Kernos. Je suis étudiant de l'Institut polytechnique de Kiev Ігор Сікорський. Je suis étudiant du groupe LF21. Je vais vous parler de mon rêve. Mon rêve est d'étudier à l'Institut polytechnique de Kiev Ігор Сікорський. Depuis longtemps, je connaissais l'existence de nombreuses institutions supérieures de la ville de Kiev. Mais mon souffle n'a été retenu que par les histoires de mes amis ou connaissances à propos de quel pays. Je m'intéressais à tout. Comment ils passent leur temps libre dans les cités universitaires, étudient, se promènent dans le parc de quel pays. Ils ont parlé et montré des photos. Et j'imaginais que j'y allais aussi, que je voyais un grand bâtiment de loin. J'imaginais que je me rapprochais et le bâtiment s'agrandit devant moi, comme dans un conte, et une belle architecture se profilait. Le ХІІІ Ігоря Сікорського est la plus grande université d'Ukraine, l'une des plus grandes d'Europe. Ses dimensions sont très impressionnantes. Même la cité universitaire est plus grande que des centaines de villes réelles. Est-il l'un des plus beaux? Il possède de nombreux bâtiments anciens. Et à côté du bâtiment principal, il y a plusieurs autres bâtiments qui fascinent par leur architecture. Une impression particulière est faite par les tours de l'avenue de la Victoire, puis par le parc. Le bâtiment moderne cadre est très impressionnant. En le regardant, vous avez l'impression d'être transporté au siècle dernier. Sur le territoire du pays, il existe de nombreux monuments à la mémoire de personnes exceptionnelles qui ont enseigné ou étudié ici. Par exemple, Дмитро Иванович Менделеев, Сергей Павлович Королев, Борис Евгеньевич Платон, Виктор Львович Кирпичев, Климент Аркадьевич Тимирязев, Игорь Иванович Сикорский et autres. Il y a aussi une locomotive à vapeur, un hélicoptère, un immense palais de la culture. Le pays impressionne non seulement par son architecture et sa taille. Ses étudiants et ses professeurs sont un moteur moderne de progrès. Pendant les études à pays, de nombreux événements différents ont eu lieu. Et le premier d'entre eux est la célébration de la fête d'étudiants de première année, où des connaissances avaient eu lieu. La journée internationale du traducteur, à l'occasion de laquelle la faculté de linguistique a préparé un certain nombre d'événements intéressants et informatifs. Ce sont la rencontre avec le traducteur praticien Alexandre Taranouha, comment vit et travaille un traducteur simultané moderne. La conférence de l'ancien rédacteur en chef de la société de traduction Logros, Igor Zavadsky, avec son sujet particularité de la traduction de textes de marketing. La conférence d'Alain Lire, un mot sur la traduction artistique. La conférence à propos de la traduction et des traducteurs du Moyen-Âge en Europe occidentale et en Ukraine. La conférence de Sergei Tkachenko sur les nuances et de la traduction de la texte artistique et politique. Le webinaire traduction de la prose courte format ukrainien vers le français enjeu et priorité. La conférence du scientifique ukrainien et personnalité politique, traducteur, écrivain, docteur en sciences physiques et mathématiques, professeur Maxime Staricha, avec son sujet traduction et construction de la nation. La rencontre avec les traducteurs français, éditeurs, journalistes, lauréats de nombreux prix littéraires et de traduction Ivan Ryabchi. Et aussi, journée pan-ukrainienne des bibliothèques, la célébration des vacances du Nouvel An, de Noël et de Mardi Gras. Sur le site du département de la théorie, pratique et traduction de la langue française de la faculté de linguistique du ХІІІ Ігоря Сікорського, vous pouvez toujours lire les notes sur la performance des étudiants à la base des résultats, des contrôles semestriels, des avertissements sur les dates importantes du processus éducatif, des points supplémentaires à la note de performance, le suivi de la qualité des connaissances scolaires résiduelles, sur les études dans le cadre du programme franco-ukrainien de diplôme. Vous pouvez aussi trouver l'information sur le prix du maire de Kiev. Il existe également un soutien psychologique pour les étudiants, le service social étudiant, le projet jeunesse Teenagizer, les plateformes en ligne 10 mois, l'association des psychologues d'Ukraine, le projet social Razom, l'organisation caritative Your Mental Health, les lignes du ministère de la Santé. Dans le cadre de la situation difficile dans le pays, on a créé un fonds caritatif pour les soutiens des forces armées ukrainiennes, Kиївської, politech au pays. Des points d'invincibilité sont aménagés. On a annoncé des informations sur la possibilité de recharger des gadgets. Plus tard, on a lancé une enquête, les études pendant la guerre, défis, nouvelles expériences, émotions et vie quotidienne. D'autres enquêtes ont aussi été menées. Par exemple, les enseignements à travers les yeux des élèves. On organise souvent de diverses conférences, comme la conférence scientifique et pratique pan-ukrainienne des chercheurs et des jeunes scientifiques, Альма-матер ХІІІ Ігоря Сікорського. Une classe de maître de valse a été organisée par le Centre de consolidation des étudiants. Et avant cela, de nombreuses activités intéressantes ont été proposées aux étudiants qui aiment danser. Actuellement, on a annoncé le concours d'art talent de pays, dédié au 125e anniversaire de l'université qui aura lieu en avril. Ce jour-là, des professeurs de KPI donnent de nombreux cours pour avoir l'opportunité non seulement d'apprendre la langue, mais aussi de se rapprocher de l'histoire de son origine, de se familiariser avec la vie quotidienne des habitants d'autres pays. Parmi ces professeurs, il y a de vraies belles filles qui travaillent jour et nuit dans des conditions modernes. Je suis étudiant en première année. J'ai des amis qui sont camarades d'études, mais je n'ai pas mis les pieds sur le territoire de l'université jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Je crois que le temps passera et que nous nous rencontrerons tous. Et mon rêve de tout voir de mes propres yeux, tout en étudiant à temps plein, se réalisera. Merci pour votre attention. J'ai le plaisir de vous parler de mon rêve. Je suis prêt à répondre à vos questions.
Oui, merci pour votre présentation. Et quel est le monument le plus récent sur le territoire de KPI?
C'est un monument au rêve de l'étudiant. Le 26 octobre 2012, l'inauguration de ce monument a eu lieu sur la place Poliana de l'université. Le monument est réalisé sur la forme d'une boule brillante.
C'est très intéressant. Merci.
Merci.
Ah oui, merci André pour votre présentation, c'était super. Et pouvez-vous nous dire quel événement à la journée internationale du traducteur avez-vous le plus préféré, le plus aimé?
J'ai le plus aimé la rencontre avec le traducteur français, éditeur, journaliste, lauréat de nombreux prix littéraires et de traduction, Ivan Sergeyevich Ryabchi. Parce que c'était très intéressant et tout le monde pouvait demander quelque chose et obtenir une réponse. Et aussi, c'était agréable d'être présent à cet événement et juste d'écouter tout le monde.
Merci.
Merci pour votre question.
Okay, thanks a lot. And we are ready to hear Polina Tsitsura. Yes, please welcome.
Yes, thanks. Bonjour à tout le monde. Je m'appelle Tsitsura Polina et je voudrais vous présenter mon thème du Centre culturel et artistique. Depuis 1993, le Centre culturel et artistique de l'Université nationale technique d'Ukraine, Institut polytechnique de Kiev Ігоря Сікорського, fait partie intégrante du système culturel et éducatif de l'Ukraine. C'est une institution culturelle et éducative largement accessible, complexe, qui offre aux jeunes étudiants des possibilités de développement global et d'autodétermination dans le domaine du temps libre, favorise l'organisation de loisirs et de loisirs significatifs. C'est un lieu de concert et de mouvements politiques. Plus de 3000 étudiants et employés de l'université sont engagés dans des groupes d'art amateurs. Ces collectifs ont reçu le titre honorifique du peuple. De nombreux diplômes de KPI sont diplômés d'universités de théâtre et de musique et travaillent dans le domaine de la culture. Dans le studio théâtral populaire, les étudiants apprennent à connaître les compétences d'acteurs, la prise de parole en public, des discours artistiques. Elle étudie les bases nécessaires à une véritable expérience scénique, de la vérité, mémoire émotionnelle, attention scénique et travail en couple. Elle met des études sur l'attention, le fantasme, la justification de l'action, la solitude publique, la mémoire des actions physiques, l'observation, etc. Il travaille également avec des passages dramatiques et la répétition sur des performances. Et bien sûr, les étudiants participent aux premières représentations du studio théâtral. Le studio a participé à plusieurs reprises à la revue, concours de groupes de théâtre, établissements d'enseignement supérieur et d'autres groupes amateurs de la ville de Kiev et a reçu les premières places. Des diplômes pour la représentation de l'idée du réalisateur sur la grande scène pour une grande compétence dans l'interprétation des rôles, etc. La principale chose que notre théâtre enseigne, c'est qui permet à une personne de développer et de nourrir ses émotions. C'est ici qu'une grande variété de manifestations de ses propres expériences les fournit. En vivant de la vie du héros, une personne acquiert l'art, sa propre expérience dans la résolution des conflits, dans la sortie du stress, apprend toute la beauté et l'incomparabilité des sentiments. Le but du théâtre est de montrer la vie intérieure et spirituelle d'une personne dans toutes ses manifestations à multiples facettes. Et aussi, il y a beaucoup de spectacles au répertoire du studio théâtral populaire. Marc Camuletti, L'amour en français, Édouard de Filippo, Cylindre, Leonid Zorin, Mélodie de Varsovie, Petro Gladilin, Cézanne, James Baldwin, Chambre de Giovanni, Richard Nash, Le vendeur de pluie, Alexandre Casson, Le sauvage, Jérôme Selinger, Au-dessus de ciel, Alexandre Casson pour une bonne cause, Tennessee William Glass, Ménagerie et Franz Kafka, Amérique. Dans le Centre culturel et des arts, dans le Centre de la culture et des arts de KPI Ігоря Сікорського, il y a 13 équipes créatives, dont les participants sont plus de 400 étudiants et l'employé de l'université. Les groupes sont très divers, chant, danse, théâtre, art, etc. Le centre organise des expositions, des concerts, des pièces de théâtre, des concours d'art. Aussi, il existe la chapelle de bandouristes populaires sous la direction de Valentina Rudenko, qui a créé l'ensemble 3 musiques à la base de la chapelle. Et les équipes de danse hip-hop moderne et HD Team sous la direction Yevgeny Khmelnytsky. Et le théâtre de danse L'Art Ballet sous la direction de Maria Pogorila, qui se trompe constamment et prévoit de participer à des spectacles et des festivals dans le printemps. Le responsable du studio vocal solo, Nadia Fesenko, donne ses cours dans chant individuel et l'aide des potentiels créatifs des chanteurs à se développer. Elle détermine les données vocales, la gamme de la voix, travaille l'amélioration des compétences d'interprétation, ce qui est très important pour la représentation publique à l'avenir. Le collectif de la chapelle chorale académique populaire, sous la direction Ruslan Bondar, effectue des répétitions tous les mardis et tous les jeudis dans le Great Chemical Auditorium, dont la T permet de maintenir une bonne distance sociale. L'ensemble de danse populaire polytechnique, dirigeant Uliana Bochenko et Dmitro Bakoun, travaille avec succès sur un nouveau répertoire. Deux nouvelles productions sont en préparation. Чорноморочка et la chanson de Kvitka Циzik, Ходить сон за вікном. Le studio de théâtre sous la direction de Mykola Voronenko répète 3 nouvelles pièces. Glass Menagerie de William Tennessee, Amérique de Franz Kafka et Cosmetic of the Enemy, Amélie Nothomb. Andrei Kulagin, le chef du studio de peinture et de graphisme Harmonie, a des masterclass en ligne pour les étudiants polytechniques sur les modes de conférences Zoom et des diffusions en direct sur Facebook comme au printemps. Les plus, avec le début de la nouvelle année académique, il a commencé des cours en présentiel dans son atelier du Centre d'éducation centrale. KPI Laferlik, sous la direction d'Anatoly Khomutyansky, travaille achèvement. Avec l'aide de Zoom, les membres de l'équipe communiquent, lisent des blagues et des chiffres et discutent de la performance. Ils jouent à un match d'échauffement sur leur chaîne Telegram. Le modérateur pose des questions ou poste une image intéressante et les participants doivent faire des commentaires amusants et pleins d'esprit. Et enfin, la galerie d'art. Au printemps, la deuxième partie du concours annuel d'art Les Talents de KPI a été organisée à distance où les étudiants et les employés de KPI ont présenté leurs photos et travaux d'infographie. Vous pouvez les voir sur la page Facebook de la galerie de photos. En septembre, la galerie d'art a organisé l'exposition Une ville qui doit être aimée. Au plus, devant artistes et architectes de différentes villes d'Ukraine, ont présenté leur aquarelle. Merci de votre attention. Je suis prête à répondre à vos questions.
Okay, Victoria, please.
Oui, merci pour votre présentation. Pouvez-vous nous dire combien de groupes créatifs y a-t-il au centre culturel?
Il y a 13 groupes, il y a très différents, de danse, de chant et des arts, il y a beaucoup de groupes.
Merci.
Paulina, please.
Oui, merci pour votre présentation. C'était magnifique. Et quand le département de la culture a-t-il commencé à fonctionner?
Il y a centre d'acteurs, des arts, il y a beaucoup de théâtrales populaires et aussi le studio oral, c'est ça.
Merci.
Julia?
Oui, c'était une présentation très intéressante. Merci, mais j'ai une question. As-tu participé à ce groupe?
Oui, je voudrais participer ici, mais il n'y a pas de temps et je ne suis en Kiev. Je voudrais participer au centre d'acteurs. Maybe c'est ça. Merci pour votre question.
J'ai compris, merci.
Okay, thank you. Julia, please stay with us because we are eager to hear your presentation. Please, Marinchuk Julia.
D'accord, bonjour à tous. Et aujourd'hui, je voudrais vous présenter aussi le Centre de la culture et des arts de KPI. Donc, en plus de son excellence académique, l'Université technique nationale d'Ukraine, Institut polytechnique Ігоря Сікорського de Kiev offre également un large éventail d'activités culturelles et artistiques pour les étudiants qui cherchent à s'engager dans des projets créatifs et sociaux. Le Centre de la culture et des arts de KPI a été fondé au siècle dernier et est devenu l'un des centres culturels les plus importants de Kiev. Le centre a été créé pour offrir aux étudiants et au personnel de l'université un lieu de rencontre pour les activités culturelles, artistiques et éducatives. Au fil des années, le centre a subi plusieurs rénovations. En 1995, un bâtiment de 6 étages a été ajouté au centre pour abriter une grande salle de concert, des salles de répétition, des studios d'enregistrement et des salles de classe pour les programmes de musique et de théâtre. Le Centre de la culture et des arts de KPI est un centre culturel dynamique et animé de l'Université technique nationale d'Ukraine. Ce centre offre une large gamme d'options pour tous les goûts, qu'il s'agisse de musique, de danse, de théâtre, de cinéma et d'art visuel. Les activités culturelles sont gérées par les étudiants passionnés et talentueux qui souhaitent partager leur amour pour les arts avec les autres. Le théâtre universitaire de KPI est l'un des groupes les plus anciens et les plus populaires de l'université. Les membres du groupe travaillent dur pour offrir les spectacles de qualité qui attirent un large public. Ils sont dirigés par un metteur en scène expérimenté et ont remporté de nombreux prix pour leurs performances. Et donc, le chœur de KPI est un groupe musical très apprécié de l'université. Les étudiants qui participent ont des voix exceptionnelles et sont passionnés par la musique. Ils se réunissent régulièrement pour répéter et se produisent lors d'événements universitaires et de concerts dans la ville. Le chœur interprète une variété de chansons de la musique classique et la musique pop et bien sûr les chansons traditionnelles ukrainiennes. Les membres du groupe de danse folklorique ukrainienne KPI sont passionnés de la culture ukrainienne et travaillent dur pour préserver les traditions et la musique de leur pays. Les membres du groupe s'entraînent plusieurs fois par semaine pour perfectionner leurs mouvements. Le groupe est ouvert à tous les étudiants de l'université et peu importe l'expérience en danse. Le club de danse de salon de KPI est un lieu de rencontre pour les étudiants passionnés par la danse. Le club organise des cours et des entraînements réguliers ainsi que des compétitions internes pour encourager les étudiants à améliorer leurs compétences de danse. Les membres ont également la possibilité de participer à des compétitions et à des événements de danse de ville. Le théâtre de danse art-ballet est l'un des groupes de danse les plus populaires de l'Université polytechnique de Kiev. Les danseurs se spécialisent dans une variété de styles de danse, notamment la danse classique, contemporaine et moderne. Les danseurs ont une formation professionnelle en danse et sont connus pour leur technique, leur grâce et leur passion pour la danse. Le club de photographie de Kiev est un lieu idéal pour les étudiants qui souhaitent apprendre la photographie et partager leurs compétences. Les membres peuvent participer à des séances de prise de vue, des ateliers et des conférences sur divers sujets tels que l'éclairage, la composition et le tirage des photos. Le club de cinéma de KPI permet aux étudiants de découvrir de nouveaux films et de discuter de leur passion commune pour le cinéma. Les membres ont la possibilité de proposer leurs films préférés pour le visionnage, ce qui permet d'avoir une variété de genres et de styles de films. Groupe national de genre de Bandura de KPI. Le groupe est dirigé par un chef d'orchestre professionnel et est ouvert aux étudiants de tous les départements de l'université. Les membres du groupe jouent des instruments traditionnels tels que Bandura, les cymbales et la kobza et chantent des chansons folkloriques ukrainiennes. HDTM est un groupe de danseurs hip-hop talentueux de l'université polytechnique de Kiev. Et ils se produisent souvent lors de festivals de danse, de compétitions, d'autres événements culturels organisés dans l'université et dans toute la ville de Kiev. Il organise aussi des ateliers de danse pour les étudiants de l'université pour aider à promouvoir la danse hip-hop et améliorer les compétences des étudiants intéressés. La Ligue de rire du KPI a pour but de promouvoir la comédie et l'humour au sein de l'université et dans la ville. Le groupe organise des spectacles de comédie, des soirées de sketch et des compétitions de comédie pour les étudiants et les membres de la communauté locale. Atelier créatif des azéchniks. En plus de créer leur propre œuvres d'art, l'atelier créatif des azéchniks de KPI organise également des expositions d'art pour les membres du groupe ainsi que pour les autres étudiants de l'université. Les membres de l'atelier sont encouragés à expérimenter et à explorer différents styles et techniques artistiques pour développer leur groupe, pour développer leur propre style unique. Le groupe Harmonie se concentre sur la promotion de l'art et de la culture folklorique ukrainienne à travers leur art. Les membres de ce groupe créent des illustrations, des affiches, des cartes postales et d'autres produits artistiques basés sur des motifs folkloriques et traditionnels. Enfin, il existe une liste encore plus longue de clubs et d'organisations culturelles dans le pays, dont le nombre augmente chaque année. Vous pouvez suivre le site et la chaîne Telegram pour rester au courant de toutes les actualités du calendrier de l'organisation et de tous les détails. Rappelons que les groupes et ateliers du Centre de la culture et des arts de KPI sont ouverts à tous, quel que soit le niveau de formation. Donc, participez activement, essayez-vous à quelque chose de nouveau, développez-vous et diffusez notre culture. Et c'est tout. Merci pour votre attention. Et si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez me les poser.
Okay, Victoria, please.
Oui, merci pour votre présentation. C'était magnifique. J'ai une question. Avez-vous écouté la chorale de KPI? Et si vous avez écouté, pouvez-vous nous dire votre performance préférée? de la chorale?
J'ai déjà écouté, oui, mais j'ai oublié les noms et les détails sur les chœurs, oui. Mais c'était magnifique et c'est quelque chose très magnifique et quelque chose d'art et je voudrais juste je vois j'ai vu les vidéos, donc je voudrais visiter le centre de la culture et des arts de KPI et donc pour quitter.
Oui, merci.
Okay, thank you. And we warmly welcome our students and colleagues from the Department Theory and Translation of German. Yes, please, Kostenko Darina, Komashchenko Elizaveta. Take your time, enjoy.
Ja, danke. Geschichte der Gründung vom KPI. Diese Präsentation vorbereitet von Jelisaweta Komaschenko und Darina Kostenko. Voraussetzungen für die Gründung die Universität. Auf vielen Veranstaltungen und in der Presse wurden immer beharrlicher Überlegungen geäußert, die Zahl der Schüler durch Neugründung und Erweiterung bestehender Fachschulen zu erhöhen und die Lehrmethoden zu verbessern. Besonderes Interesse zeigte daran das Industrie- und Finanzbürgertum, dessen Interessen insbesondere vom Finanzministerium gewahrt wurden. Die zarischen Behörden mussten nachgeben und der Eröffnung neuer technischer Bildungseinrichtungen zustimmen. Am 25. November 1896 fand in Kiew ein Treffen statt, an dem Professoren der Kiewer Universität, Vertreter der Stadtverwaltung, der Verwaltung der Südbahn, Ingenieur und Industrielle teilnahmen. Es wurde beschlossen, in Kiew eine höhere technische Bildungseinrichtung, ein polytechnisches Institut mit Fakultäten für Maschinenbau, Ingenieurwesen, Chemie und Agrarwissenschaften zu gründen. Auswahl eines Ortes für den Bau einer Universität. Lisa, weiter.
Als Standort des Polytechnischen Instituts wurde Kiew nicht zufällig gewählt. Es war eine Universitätsstadt in ein Kultur-, Verwaltungs- und Handelszentrum. Ein wichtiger Straßen, Wasserstraßen und Eisenbahnknotenpunkt. Eine Stadt mit einer entwickelten Lebensmittel- und Leichtindustrie. St. Petersburg Aero Club, was es das zweite Luftfahrtlabor des Landes. Die Mitglieder des Kreisers gründeten eigene Flugzeugwerkstätten, in denen sie Segelflugzeuge und seit 1910 Flugzeuge bauten. Professor Kudashev war der Erste, der in einem Flugzeug seine eigenen Konstruktion in die Luft ging. Student Andres fertigte zuerst ein Modell eines Luftschiffs und später 1912 das erste Luftschiff des Landes, Kiew, in dem er selbst flog. Die Gründung der Universität im Jahr 1898 wurde durch die Finanzierung der Zuckermagnaten und Philanthropen Lazar Brodsky ermöglicht. Erster Rektor war der russische Ingenieur Viktor Lvovich Kirpichow. Zu dieser Zeit bestand die Hochschulbetrieb aus 4 Abteilungen: Mechanik, Chemie und Ingenieurwesen. Im ersten Gründungssemester wurde 316 Studenten eingeschrieben. Heute beträgt die Zahl der Studierenden rund 40.000. Davon kommen 1.000 Studenten aus dem Ausland. Über 4.500 Studierende haben jeden Jahr im Studium abgeschlossen. Ein Vollzeitstudium dauert 5 Jahre und 6 Monate.
Das war es. Danke für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.
Okay, do you have any questions, dear students? So far, so good. Okay, so next, please, Kravchenko Natalia, you're welcome.
Ich heiße Kravchenko Natalia und ich bin die Studentin der LN21-Gruppe. Und heute erzähle ich Ihnen etwas über unsere Universität. Und aus dieser Präsentation erfahren Sie, wann wurde unsere Universität gegründet, über die Besonderheiten unserer Fakultät, über die Möglichkeiten der Arbeitsstellung und ein bisschen über das Studentenleben. Also beginnen wir. Unsere Universität wurde 1898 in erster Linie als technische Fachhochschule gegründet. Zuerst auf dem Territorium unserer Uni waren nur 4 Abteilungen. Das sind mechanische Ingenieurabteilung, die Abteilung der Landwirtschaft und auch die chemische Abteilung. Aber mit jedem Tag ist unsere Mutterarme größer und größer. Und die heutige Uni berechnet 14 Fakultäten und 10 Forschungsinstitute. Unter diesen Fakultäten ist unsere Fakultät für Linguistik, aber sie wurde 4 später geschaffen. Die langen 97 Jahren bedachte man, sie zu gründen. Und nur im Jahr 1995 erschien unsere beliebte Fakultät. Unser deutsches Bild wurde noch später veröffentlicht, im Jahr 2000. Obwohl die Sprachabteilung an unserer Uni ziemlich jung ist, ist sie ziemlich erfolgreich. Jährlich zeigen unsere Studenten hohe Ergebnisse auf verschiedenen Olympiaden, Wettbewerben und Fachachtungen.
Wie habe ich schon gesagt, unsere Fakultät wurde 1995 gegründet. Die Besonderheiten der Fakultät für Linguistik ist die hochwertige Ausbildung von Übersetzern. Während des Studiums erwerben die Studierenden Kenntnisse in Grundlagen und Berufswissenschaften sowie verhaltenssichere Kommunikation und Übersetzung Fähigkeiten in 2 obligatorischen Rechtssprachen. Großes Augenmerk wird auf die elektronische Datenverarbeitung gelegt. Und es ist sehr wichtig in der modernen Gesellschaft. Die Fakultät bildet hochqualifizierte Übersetzer aus Fremdsprachen in ihrer Muttersprache und umgekehrt. Und gleichzeitig können die Studenten eine zweite Spezialität erwerben. Das ist Fremdsprachlehrer. Auf diesem Bild können Sie sehen das Gebäude unserer Fakultät und hier ist das Logo der Fakultät. Wir machen einige Folgerungen aus folgender Folie. Nach dem Abschluss unserer Fakultät können Sie als Dolmetscher, als Übersetzer und sogar als Fremdsprachlehrer arbeiten. Und jetzt bitte ich Ihnen etwas auszuwählen und eine kleine Umfrage hören. Und diese Umfrage heißt, warum haben Sie sich entschieden, an unserer Uni zu studieren? Тепер я пропоную вам трішечки прийти на українську мову і послухати невеличке опитування. Чому ви вирішили навчатися саме в нашому університеті? Тож почнемо.
Звісно, я обрала КПІ не тільки через його чудовий парк, а й також тому, що чула багато дуже хороших відгуків про університет.
Дійсно, краса нашого університету не може не захоплювати. Наступне.
Я вирішила навчатися у КПІ через толерантне ставлення викладачів до студентів та через чесну систему оцінювання.
І третя відповідь.
Особисто я обрала КПІ, тому що тут навчалась подруга моєї мами, і вона порадила мені шукати чоловіка-айтішника.
Ну, буває і так. Тепер продовжуємо. Wir haben uns etwas auszuruhen und jetzt bitte ich Ihnen weitergehen. Der Lehrstuhl Theorie, Praxis und Übersetzung der deutschen Sprache hat Kontakte mit internationalen Partnern geknüpft. Im Rahmen der Kooperation mit dem Deutschen Akademischen Austauschdienst wird die Einbindung von deutschsprachigen Dozenten des Vereins in den Präsidiumunterricht fortwährend praktiziert. Verschiedene Seminare, Meisterkurse und verschiedene Workshops werden ständig für Studenten und wissenschaftliche und pädagogische Mitarbeiter organisiert, um den Bildungsprozess zu optimieren und zu modernisieren. Außerdem können die Studenten Möglichkeit, einige Zeit im Ausland zu studieren. Und auf diesen Bildern können Sie sehen die Logos dieser Austauschprogramme. Das sind Erasmus und GATT. Aber die Universität ist nicht nur das Sitzen in den Hörsälen jeden Tag, sondern auch das spannende, interessante, lustige und unvergessliche Studentenleben. Da unser Institut anstudentenreich ist, wurde hier verschiedene Sektionen geschaffen. Jeder kann etwas nach seinem Geschmack wählen. Zum Beispiel gibt es verschiedene Sportvereine, gibt es Tanzen und sogar Brettspiele. Und auf diesen Sektionen können Sie nicht nur gute Zeit haben, sondern auch Freunde finden. Und auf dieser Folie können Sie meine beliebte Gruppe sehen. Leider nicht alle von uns haben jetzt die Möglichkeit, nach Kiew zu fahren, aber ich hoffe sehr, dass ab 1. September wir Direktstudium haben werden. Und ich hoffe sehr, dass wir uns treffen. Und am Ende meiner Erzählung möchte ich Ihnen ein paar Fragen stellen. Sie sind sehr leicht. Und die erste Frage, in welchem Jahr wurde unsere Uni gegründet?
Ich glaube, 10 vielleicht.
Ja, Sie haben recht. Die zweite Frage, wie viele Abteilungen hatten wir zuerst?
Ich denke, wir hätten 4 Abteilungen.
Super. Wann wurde der deutsche Lehrstuhl eröffnet?
Ich denke in 2000.
Ja, Sie haben recht. Mit welchen Austauschprogrammen hat unser Institut Kontakte geknüpft? Wer möchte antworten?
Vielleicht Variante A.
Ja, ist richtig. Und die letzte Frage, welche Fremdsprachen lernt man bei uns?
Man lernt Deutsch, Französisch und Englisch.
Super. Ich danke Ihnen für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.
Okay.
Okay, any questions? No questions, great. And please, Boki, Albina, Homenko, we are eager to hear your presentation.
So, мене чути?
Yes.
Так. So, KPI Park über uns. Ich bin Albina Boki, ich bin die Studentin der Gruppe LN21 und meine Freundin Julia Chomenko und sie ist auch der Studentin der Gruppe LN21. So, das Territorium im KPI. Das Territorium des KPI war einst ein Militärfeld mit Gräben ohne einen einzigen Baum. An der Grenze zum Paramogi Avenue verlief teilweise ein Graben mit einer Tiefe von mehr als 2 Meter.
Could you please, I'm sorry for interrupting, could you please give us a full screen?
Tak.
Thank you.
So, es gibt viele Allen und schöne Natur im KPI. Parkalleen verbanden die nächsten Straßen mit Bildungs- und Wohngebieten. In der Regel waren die Alleen von Bäumen und Sträuchern gesäumt. Eschenalleen, Lindenalleen, Eichenalleen und Kastanienalleen haben uns erreicht und sind in zufriedenstellendem Zustand. Während des Großen Vaterländischen Krieges blieb der KPI-Park fast intakt. Dies ist ein echtes historisches Foto. Ja, das Monument of Battle Glory befindet sich in in der Nähe des Eingangs zum Park des Kiewer Polytechnischen Instituts. Hier dafür auch für den gibt es keinen Tod auf für Erde. Der Park ist ein beliebter Ort für Spaziergänge, Sportwettkämpfe und Erholung. Der Park verfügt über mehrere Sportplätze, einen Fußballplatz, Basketball- und Volleyballplätze sowie Minigolf und ein Cricketfeld. Weiter, Julia.
Der KP-Apfelbaum ist eine der ältesten und bekanntesten Pflanzen auf dem Territorium des Parks des Kiewer Polytechnischen Instituts. Dieser Apfelbaum wurde von mehr als 160 Jahren gepflanzt und ist unter Studenten und Absolventen der KPI zu einer echten Legende geworden. Auf dem zweiten Foto können Sie sehen, dass unser Rektor auch mal den Apfelbaum besucht. Наступне. Альбіна. Drei interessante Fakten über den Apfelbaum. Das erste Fakt: Viele Studenten besuchen den Apfelbaum für Prüfungen, um sich einen Energieschub zu holen. Das zweite Fakt: Auf den Ästen des Apfelbaums wachsen mehr als 100 Apfelsorten, darunter Äpfel in verschiedenen Farben, Formen und Geschmacksrichtungen. Das dritte Fakt: Apfelsamen würde verwenden, um andere Apfelbaum im Park und auf dem Territorium von Kiew zu pflanzen. Am 12. April wurde in der Nähe des Wissensplatzes, der jedem Polytechniker bekannt ist, entlang eines breiten Weges zwischen zwei Gebäuden japanische Kirschbäume gepflanzt. Hier können Sie 4 Fotos des Parks sehen. Das war es. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.
Vielen Dank.
Okay. Questions? No questions. Okay, thanks a lot. I think this is the end. Yes?
Yes, we're very grateful for your presentations. It was a great pleasure, first of all, to enjoy all 3 languages from our students.
Yes.
Yeah, we really enjoyed. We will post the video of our conference on the web page of our department. So if you wish, you may enjoy it one more time and immerse yourself into this atmosphere one more time. I do believe that these first steps, like taking part in the conference, were really useful for you, for your further career, and we encourage you to take part in the conferences that are organized by our department and by other departments within the Faculty of Linguistics. So thank you very much.
Yes, and may I add something?
Yeah,
yes, so, despite the fact that my colleagues and I, yes, have spent and have been there and have spent a lot of time within the walls of this great university, today is truly a day of surprises and unexpected findings, especially for me. So thank you. Thanks a million for your presentations. It was really great. Incredible.
Yeah, we all enjoyed. Right now, I wish you a peaceful evening. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.